Hey guys, Dave Morelli here. So it seems we meet again. Today I'm going to work on putting some more wax dirt together, and I'm going to work on, I got to redo that, clean this out for this season, and I'm going to start getting my truck squared away. First thing I wanted to show you is I mentioned how the wax flakes or pellets float to the top and how they melt in. I'm going to let you take a look at that real quick. And then as that stuff's working, I'm gonna work on this bucket and get it ready. The idea is get everything ready before the season starts, and I am running down to the wire, so let's get after it. Okay, I don't know how good this is gonna work, but you see those bigger chunks look like pebbles in there? Well, that's wax. And as this heats up, that'll kind of mix in with the dirt. Melt in with the dirt, and that all goes away if you put the right amount of wax in there, and that all kind of goes away when the dirt is done. Okay. Usually I let that tumbler run when I'm working on other stuff, but you won't be able to hear me in the camera. So first thing, get all the mud out of the bottom of this thing here. And I like a bucket. Buckets always worked for me. And if you get one of these little bucket helpers, it helps you keep all your stuff separated. I drill a few holes in the bottom because it will fill up with water being in the back of the truck. So one important thing, I keep one section here, and it's got extra trap tags and fasteners. And then I always carry an extra screwdriver or a screwdriver. Pair of dikes. There's nothing, you should buy 4 or 5 of these. Throw one in every truck, every bucket, everywhere. I kind of like keeping these 2 right here where my trap tags are. I like this this type of hammer. It's all steel. I've replaced so many wooden handles, and even the fiberglass handles, after a while they wear out and break. This one's, that's about 4 pounds. It'll do the trick. That goes in there. When I'm done waxing, this is my screen. It'll go, when I'm done boiling, before I start waxing, this will go in there and it'll get washed off. So that goes in here. And then I keep one of these full of wax dirt. There's enough in here to probably make 2 sets. That goes in. So. And then here's some new screens. I always keep a couple of packs of screens. I've got a bunch of them in there that I've saved from last year that need to be washed, and they'll go in here. I always keep several dozen screens in here and keep an eye on it. Nothing worse than walking to a set and not having a screen. I do this more for my knees than I do for scent. Pad that goes in there, and then this is just a brush for the scraping the windshield, and the scraper broke off. You use that for smoothing out a set, knocking snow off a set, stuff like that. That goes right there. And then I'll usually keep the type of lure that I'm using for what I'm doing. Urine. And there's all different size pockets, so you can pick what's the best. When I'm working at a set, the reason why I like this bucket is I set this down next to me. I can just spin it around and take what I want out of it, use it, put it right back, just like so. Keep an extra pair of gloves in there. This is what I call a screw-do. I don't know what the actual name is for it. but it's for digging dirt holes. If you buy one of these, you can buy one that you can hook on an electric drill and drill it with your cordless DeWalt or whatever. I like this one here. This one's very well made. I've had others in the past and they've lasted for several years, but this one's going to last a little longer. I'll probably take this down to the shop and get a file, and I won't make this sharp, but I'll put a better bevel on it. And this is for drilling your dirt holes. And we're going to go out and make a dirt hole set here in a minute and show you how this works. And I take that with me. This is my new set bucket, which means when I'm putting in a new trap that's fresh dyed and waxed, boiled, dipped, whatever, this is the bucket I use. These are the gloves I'll use, and I'll keep an extra pair of clean gloves in there. This is all clean material. As the season goes on, I'll have another bucket, and it's my remake bucket. It'll have a different screen, extra set of gloves. It probably won't have as much of this stuff in it because I won't need all this. I won't need a hammer. I won't need to drill a new hole for the deal here. This is after you make a catch and you want to remake that set. This all stinks like whatever animal you caught, coyote or whatever. And I do not want to use this on a new set and have my trap that I've dyed and waxed get coyote scent on it, because that'll cause a coyote to smell it. He'll smell that on the trap and he'll dig up your set, and then you got a big problem. He'll be very hard to catch after that because he'll dig up all your trap. So I have my extra remake bucket. So anyway, that's how I set it up. A lot of guys use little kind of lengthwise brief things and they put their stuff in there. There's some guys that they'll use one of the things I'll do for remake sets, if I got to walk real far, I'll get one of them old tactical vests out of the surplus store. It has all the pockets on it, and some of them even have a pistol holster where you can keep your trap pistol in there and some lures and stuff, some extra screen. And if you got to walk a long ways, you don't need all these heavy tools. You don't need to pack all this stuff. Go out, fix your set, got all the stuff you need, gloves, blah, 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 and come back and take it off and throw it in the truck when you get in and drive away. Anyway, let's go try a dirt hole set. So I'm going to make a set over here, just a demo set. I'm going to make it and pull it just a dirt hole. This is a good spot, and the reason, well, one, somebody's left the remains of their elk hunt here, which is putting a nice odor out right now. And there's a draw that comes this way where I was going to make one of the sets. I've used this before during the season. There's a draw that comes down through here. These two draws come together here and they go out, about 600 yards to a pasture. Better than average spot for a set, even without this stink. But in these draws, around the edges of these draws, up on some high spots where they can look down when they're coming in to get to this or see what this is, or even up the draw 300 or 400 yards away from this. When they smell this, whatever way the wind's blowing, and there's three directions, three draws, they put a set at 300 yards up this draw behind me, and then down here. Any coyote smelling this on his way in is going to come in these little low spots, keep hidden, and possibly find your set. The only thing that pisses me off a little here is these guys left their 7-Eleven cups and their drink cups and a couple of ice bags laying there that they couldn't stick in the back of their truck and take with them and leave it in a trash can somewhere. I'll have to clean that up. I don't like seeing that bullshit. Anyway, let's go make a dirt hole set. The way I set my truck up, I have my new bucket. I have a little bucket here with additional bait and lure. I only carry what I'm going to use in the set bucket. This is all the extra stuff, extra urine and stuff like that. My remake bucket back here. This is extra trap here. There's a board in the back that keeps it all from going all over the place. When I'm setting new traps, I use plastic buckets or bins, Rubbermaid, whatever they call those bins. And I'll put them on the other side of the board, and that'll have all my fresh traps in it. And once those are all gone, those boxes will be gone, all them traps will be set. I'll keep all my remake traps in here and extra traps in case I want to extend the line. That'll protect them for when I throw the coyotes over into that part of the bed. It'll protect these from getting stink on them. And then that has room there for all of my coyotes. So, and I also have this crane on here, and I put it on there to help me when I'm elk hunting. I can lift the elks in the quarters or the whole elk sometimes into the back of the truck. Not to mention I can spin that around, and I have a gambrel that hooks on it. And a lot of times when I'm catching a lot of coyotes, I like to use that out in the field and skin them as I go. So that kind of helps for that. Anyway, let's go down here, get our gloves on, and make a dirt hole set. Okay, this is a good spot because I've caught at least 2 coyotes a year here. So I like having the backing back here. This is my backing, there's bush. And this is where my fade hole is going to be. Dig it as deep as you can and with as steep as an angle as I can. There's just some dirt that don't work, and you're going to have to deal with it. So, first thing we want to do is dig a trap bed, and this is really soft dirt, so normally I would just fill this in with my wax dirt, but I don't want to waste it on a demo. Okay, got to get a trap. Okay, I'll get you over top of this in a minute. I'm just using a number 2 Northwood. This is also a good place for a wolf to come by, so I would definitely use a trap that will hold a wolf here too. Not necessarily a wolf trap, but a very stout number 4 coyote trap, double spring, and I'd probably stake it better. I like to set my stake in the ground so when my trap goes in, the loose jaw will be supported by that trap stake, the head of that trap stake. And that helps start your bedding process. Okay, so my hole's here. My trap stake head is right here. So see already, that's getting wormed in there. And I'd probably use a different kind of bone, but this one's here. Put a bone there, that'll be a little sight attractor as coyote comes up. So get a screen, get it ready here. So I'll start caving this in here. There's a lot of little pebbles, so you want to be careful not to get any of those in the jaws. We'll start caving that in, put some soft dirt around. This would all be wax dirt. So then we get our screen started here. And we start sifting, and of course we don't have to do this with the wax dirt, it's already sifted. We'll get this rolling. We'll get our brush, and I like to keep the pan of the trap open until I'm done. So we get that started. See, it's check your jaws. Well, that's good and solid. You don't want them jaws to wiggle, because if he takes a step right here on the jaw and it wiggles, he'll get curious about it and he'll dig it up. I like, okay, get that baby there. Make sure it's tight. Okay, now I'm going to start making my dirt hole. The dirt hole represents an animal that's dug something here, maybe hit a piece of bait. So you're going to have the dig, all the dig stuff coming out the sides, like something dug here. Okay, and it could be dirt like this, or cave this in, make it look like it's something dug here. Just like that. Then, since I know it's about where I want it, then I'll go ahead, cover up the pan. You don't need to spend a lot of time here. Some guys try to make a picture perfect set. And then I'll get some of this duff around here and I'll throw it around. When you set your trap in, dig up enough so that your pan will be the lowest part of this equation. So the animal will actually step down into it. Just like so. And then I use this duff as my guide sticks. This little sticks and stuff. Put it all around there. Put it out here. Make sure none of them pebbles are in the jaws. So all this is my guide stick to make that the perfect place right there to put his foot. Now if I have a piece of coyote dropping, I might put it right here and squirt a little urine on it, because this coyote might come in from the side to check on it in between here and here, or over this way, and he'll have to put one of his paws right in that spot. You can guard the loose jaw with a rock too if you want. That'll either cause him to step over. This rock's kind of big. I like this here. That'll either cause him, if he comes this way, to step over in. If he comes this way, he'll step in with his right leg. If he comes this way, he'll step with his left leg. So all that's left to do now is put some bait in there. A lot of times I will cover that with something after I put the bait in. That might be where this big rock come in. You put your bait down in the hole, set that over it. Make it so he can't see the bait. So he has to work the set and use his nose. You could put your lure, you put a little lure up here. I'd put it underneath this bone right there. I'd put a little glob of lure and your bait down in there and a little bit of urine. If you have a lot of rabbits around, you might want to omit the urine, okay? Basically, this is some animals come here and it has buried something, maybe to come back later or whatever, or something's dead in there. He smells it. Your lure, a lot of times what I'll do with a lure here is I'll put a call type lure on like this bush behind here up high, so it'll get him working, and when he gets close enough, he'll smell that bait. He'll smell that little bit of gland lure that's right here, and he'll want to investigate it, and he'll have to come in from these three sides because there's a bush there. So, and he may come around. There's a spot behind that bush that's open where he could circle this bush a couple of times. But when he comes around here, if he steps on the jaw, it's bedded real good. But if he works this set a couple of times around, bam, sooner or later he's going to hit that pan. So then you could just feather some more stuff in. And that's really all I do. We're dirt hole set. So, bucket goes back in. Okay, so I'd have essentially probably have 3 traps here, and most of them be trail sets away. Because of this carcass here, they'd be down these draws, and they're narrow draws. It's easy to set a trail set right in the bottom of it. Everything that I make that's dirt hole kind of related, it's a variation of the dirt hole. I have a side step type deal where they come in from the side and they step down. I call it a step down type thing where they actually step down into the trap. It's a variance of the dirt hole. A flat set for me would be the same kind of set, only my attractors would be, I'd get my stake and pound a hole in the ground and put some lure way down deep in there. Sometimes that helps when you can't really dig a big dirt hole, kind of like over here. A pee post set where you find something that sticks out that you think something's going to pee on. When it goes by, you put a trap in front of it and put a little bit of pee on it so that it brings a coyote in. And trail sets. And really everything I do is pretty much a variation of that. If you stick with me, we'll make a few of these other different sets in some different geography, so you can see how I do things as the terrain changes. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Buckskin Dave. Have a good day.